There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sci-Fi Talk on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve, and today we'll be discussing episode 1 of season 1 of Resident Alien.
So this is our official review because you had gotten our sneak peek preview previously. And my initial thoughts are the same from the sneak peek. I liked it. It was kind of cheesy and funny, and it's like, it's different. Now, a lot of people are comparing it to other shows, like crossover kind of things.
Right.
But I am enjoying it. Thus far, I mean, granted, it's one episode, right?
Yeah.
But it's Alan Tudyk. I mean, come on.
Yes. He is amazing.
I love Alan Tudyk.
Yes. And
so,
we got a cast of others that's kind of out there, too. So this is going to be an interesting ride we take with these oddballs.
It is, especially the way they're trying to set it up. It's like, okay, it seems like a lot of them are kind of keep to yourself. And then we have, the little central, like, weird people that almost don't even seem to fit in together.
Right.
Yeah, if that makes sense. All right. So the pilot is an alien hiding in a small Colorado town, meets the locals when they ask him to help solve a murder. Great. That can only end well, is how I'm thinking of it.
Oh, yeah.
So our alien, who is Alan Tudyk, is or becomes Dr. Harry Vanderspiegel.
Yeah, that was an amazing...
have a really short name.
Yeah, that really... Yeah, that was an amazing scene. I loved how the alien's so much bigger than Harry, but it still needed its little middle hands to choke him out.
Right.
Well, after he throws him in the lake, when he walks back in the door, he cracks those knuckles on those little hands. It's just like, oh, really? Come on.
That's why I'm like, okay, I love it because it's starting with some funny stuff. And then even in, I guess it was the opening credits, we get like that little trifold, almost like alien airplane kind of thing. So it's like, all right. I like how they're doing it. And how they're just kind of like, all right, we're going to do this slowly. And you're not going to have him just jump in and do all this stuff. You see him become Harry and how he has to do it painfully.
Yes, trying to learn the English language.
Oh my gosh, watching Law and Order. And I love it because he just kept watching like the same episode. And I'm like, what is it on like his DVR or something?
It has to be.
But how he always like, dum dum, clunk clunk. It's like, no, that's not part of it. You don't say that part. Like, could you imagine if he was watching something like completely different? I mean, I'm just glad there wasn't porn. That would have been weird. So thankfully it was Law and Order and not something really strange. Or he didn't learn stuff from like Teletubbies because that would have been just horrifying in its own way.
Yeah.
You just see him walking around, custard. It's like, I get chills thinking about it.
Yeah. So eventually the town comes calling and we get to meet Mike Big Black Thompson and Deputy Liv Baker and talk about two opposites.
Oh my gosh. I was just going to say that. It's like, could they be any different?
No.
And why? Okay. Why is the sheriff, Mike Big Black Thompson, so angry and he wants everyone to call him Big Black? It's like, first of all, it's not like you're towering over everybody and you're not like this 350-pound, like hugely muscly guy or something. Hugely? I'm making up words, I think. But it's like, why is it, do you want everybody to call you Big Black? I feel like that's just weird. And like, where's all this anger?
Right.
Or is it because you're just so different from your deputy who looks like she should, honestly, because she seems so quiet and laid back, like just I'm going to chill over here and just bake, like me, maybe have a bunch of dogs and cats. You know, she just seemed like totally opposite. He's so intense and she's just like, eh. So, I mean, you got like your definite opposites, but, and then you bring it all around with the mayor.
Snowflake.
Is he like 12? I mean, it's just, that was a really weird thing right there. I mean, is this just a super tiny town and like all this weirdness just kind of stands out more because it's so small?
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely that. And it wouldn't surprise me if the sheriff is the only African American in town. And so that's probably part of his attitude is that, yeah, you're stuck in BFE, Colorado, and the only person of color in town. So...
And
so he suspects everybody of doing something wrong.
That's true. You're just like, I'm going to point everybody out and be like, you're probably doing something stupid, mostly because this town is boring.
Right.
So it's like, almost like you're going to start imagining things happening no matter what. So, and like I said, I'd be mad, no pizza place. So that's just me. Like, wow. Okay. And then we have the autopsy actually start, which is just really funny the way they have Harry kind of come in and he's, you know, like
first
talking to them.
Astra's sleeping and
she must have been dead for 6 hours. Oh, you're alive.
Why didn't you tell me that?
The mayor's like, oh, we were going to call something about like, what is it? The leading researcher from whatever, and we have Harry like, oh, don't call him, I'll do it. And he's like, no, it's you. He's like, I know, it was a joke.
Yeah.
Wow, this is going to be weird. Like, they're going to be just ask him, are you drunk? Like, maybe that would explain it away. I don't know.
Right.
But as to 12 Trees, she's interesting because the way it all kind of plays out, it makes me feel like, and this would be really strange if they do this, but it makes me feel like she almost has like a mystical kind of presence on screen.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially later.
Yeah.
So that I think, I mean, there's aliens, so why not? But I feel like that would be kind of weird, wouldn't it? We're going to have the supernatural and aliens, but I don't know, maybe that'll fit because of all the supernatural fans right now. I mean, we don't have supernatural happening. It ended. Why not roll with something really weird over on sci-fi like this?
Right. Absolutely. And
come on,
Native Americans have always been on the spiritual side. So, yeah, it's very possible she could bring in a little supernatural vibe into the series.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out. But
I don't think she's aware of, if she does have any mystical powers, she's definitely not aware of them right now. But yeah,
she had enough mystical powers to walk barefoot in snow after all the snow we had here lately. I know I don't want to walk barefoot in it.
Yeah, very true.
I don't know about anybody else. My poor feet were freezing and I had layers.
Yeah.
But
as we get her backstory, it does seem coincidental that she leaves her ex-husband the same night that Harry crashes, because she gets out of the house and she looks up and you see the ship going down. And then as she's driving away, you see the buck come up behind her in that long tunnel and you kind of go, okay.
Yeah, that's why I feel like they're throwing something out there.
Right.
Let's see what happens. And let me see, who else do we have? Abigail Hodges.
Yeah, I loved it because Harry decides he wants to stay longer. And of course, Astra's going, what? We're done. I'm going to the bar. Well, he says he's got stuff to do. And as soon as she leaves, he goes, I'm going to get the brain, squishy brain, squishy brain.
I want to squish it in my hands. And then when he's doing it, it's like, oh my gosh.
And the deceased doctor's wife comes in wanting to know where he is.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that is kind of messed up. Why didn't they go and tell her?
Right.
Come on. All right. Well, Sheriff, you didn't have a problem and you wanted to go talk to everybody and tell her because you don't care, but you didn't, did you?
No.
So maybe there are just some roads you just won't cross.
Right. I'm sure that this town probably hasn't had a murder in at least 10, 15 years.
Right. Let's run across to, what was it, the old 59er?
Yeah.
which was interesting how we get the information of why the bar is called this.
Right.
But actually, I was really interested the way they explain it. And somehow I feel like the bar, or I should say the story, isn't that far off, that there's probably a lot out there similar to that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it was old mining town and the mine was collapsing and a bunch of them got out and they do a head count, realize one guy is still inside. So the 59 who had gotten out, was it 59 or 58?
Yep, 59.
59 went back in to save the one and then they all ended up perishing.
Right.
And it's just like, I really feel like that was probably a big thing.
Oh, absolutely it was.
It's like, oh, wow. I kind of want to learn more, which is, I guess, kind of strange.
Right.
Because I feel like that's probably the whole story, but it just feels like there's more. And because of that story, because Asta and, like I said, Sheriff Thompson, I'm already messing up names, and the doctor, both doctors, the living and the deceased, I feel like there's a lot of stories that were kind of thrown out, like we're sprinkling in. And I am the first one to tell you stories need world building.
Right.
But then they throw in like the kid, which we'll talk about Max in a minute. And I'm kind of feeling like we're throwing a lot out in this first episode.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah. Could
This
it
is
be
weird.
too much, maybe?
Yeah. Because especially when we have our alien Harry walking around trying to find piece of his ship and whatever fell. And then we find out it's an extinction level event thing that was supposed to be thrown out.
Right.
Until it got hit by lightning. It's like, okay, there's so much being thrown at us at once. I feel, like you said, like maybe it's too much. Like, how are they going to bring this huge picture down to just the screen?
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you guys know what I mean. I'm just not saying it very well.
Right.
And I have not been drinking because I've been working all day. So that's really what the problem is. I have work mush brain.
Right. Yeah. Harry's got to find the device before the snow melt.
Oh gosh, he's got to find his body.
The body of the real Dr.
I
Harry.
forgot about that.
Yeah. They've got
And
a
then we
murder to
have
solve.
one
He's got
kid.
to deal with the kid.
One kid. Yeah, what is it? What did he say? 1 in 1,000 or 1 in a million?
Yeah, million something that has the gene that sees through their cloaking device or whatever you want to call it.
I feel like this kid, I'm sorry, like, yeah, you definitely freak out the first time. But at the same time, like, make a deal with him.
Right.
Not when you're drunk and sneaking in his bedroom saying you're going to kill him, but a better deal. Like, kid, you're the only person who knows I'm an alien. Maybe we can work something out.
Yeah.
Like, you're super cool. I can help you do something. You know, like, lie to him, something. But then again, maybe he doesn't know what a lie is, although he kind of does just by watching Law and Order.
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like this is going to be like some weird ongoing thing. The kid's going to need therapy. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. Now, I did see in some review where they actually said Max was the mayor's child. It was like, no, wait a minute.
The mayor. That wasn't him.
It didn't register to me that it was.
But then again, God, this is going to be a really awkward thing to review because now I have to say this out loud. But he did say that he didn't want to look his wife in the face when they're having sex. So that Max could well be his child because he had an affair. You know, who knows?
Right.
This could be a whole nother level of weird that we're going to be talking about this season.
We could get to a happy level event.
And if you haven't watched Happy, go watch it if you want to watch something really messed up. I'm just saying. If you want something that you don't have to think too hard about.
No.
But you might have to take notes because it is weird. But anyway, it'll mess with your head.
16 episodes, you could binge it in a weekend easy.
Yeah. And
just be warned, you may not be the same when you come out the other side.
Oh my gosh, now I'm really afraid. What if Resident Alien turns into weirdness like that? Holy cow. Anyway, wait, let's come back. Let's come back to this. Because the body is gone. Dun, dun, dun. What kind of office, morgue, whatever?
Well, it's a doctor's office. It's not a morgue. So,
okay,
there's no place to store a body to keep it cold.
I guess it's a good thing it snowed because, of course, when Harry / alien gets into town, and we have the sheriff. You did it, didn't you? And what the hell was he going on about? You can feel it.
Yeah, your taint's telling you done something, isn't it? You can feel it.
Seriously,
Just like,
not
what
separate
the hell?
Oh, God. It's going to be one of those. But anyway, and he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, I took the body. Wait, what?
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to accuse him of something, and he's like, yeah. And you see him in a pile of snow in the back, which makes sense.
Right.
Because, again, there's no, I was going to say deep freezer, and that is not what I meant.
Yeah.
Cooler? I don't know. Okay, I don't work in a morgue, but I assume they keep the bodies cold. But
yes.
So weird. Yeah.
Loved how he used the guy's toes to hold up the shovel.
I thought I was the only one who noticed that. He's like, of course I have respect for the body. And then I just pops up the shovel between the toes. Like, I think most people would have thought he just leaned it up against it. But it's it like kind of spread the toes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So weird. Oh my gosh. I'm never going to unsee happy. I'm going to see this freaking unicorn, like, with this show now.
Right.
There's a cross.
That'll be our buck.
Yeah. And then we have, and I forget her name, we had a girl in the alley who did not phased about a dead body, by the way. And Harry's just like, you have a fly on your neck. It's a birthmark, you douche. But later, we also have Harry having to look up what some of these words that were used today.
That was awesome.
And I almost peed my pants because I started laughing so hard, especially when he throws the phone. It's like, oh, God. Yeah. This is messed up, and I love it, and I don't know what that says about me.
Right.
And then we end up going to Asta's, I don't know if it's officially an ex yet, or if they're supposed to be, like, in the process of becoming exes. She goes to get her stuff.
She didn't really say, but, I think it's ex, and he's trying to get her back, but it's not happening.
No, it's not. And he tries to be a hard ass and shows Harry his gun, and Harry's like, and but this was interesting because, Asta's like, hey, I'll just get my stuff later. He's like, okay, and he leaves, but you hear the voiceover saying, don't turn around, just keep going. Yes, she's in danger, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
And he turns around and beats the crap out of the guy, pulls him through the wall.
Yes, through the wall.
That was awesome.
Yes.
But this guy is kind of a big burly dude, and he gets pulled through. He's getting choked out by, Alan Tudyk, who is not exactly a big burly dude.
No.
I may never unsee him as Wash, so, that's forever. I'm going to see him in, like, a Hawaiian shirt, like, doing this.
Right.
Or Teen Candy, which is even weirder. But, Asta gets him to stop, and it was surprising to me that he did.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's like, okay, he is ready to kill off the planet, supposedly.
Right. That's his job.
Its extinction level event was for something specific, not actually for the planet. Maybe it was extinction of
all living creatures.
Traditionally, but I'm saying maybe it was something else.
Right.
Extinction level of all, I don't know, germs or something. Yeah, we don't know. We're just assuming this is like totally killing off everything living on the planet.
Right. We know it's getting rid of all the humans.
Hey, I'm going out on a limb here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. So, what's going to
I have a feeling that, he's not going to be able to complete his mission, that's for sure, before this is all said and done. That'll be the last thing that will happen.
Yeah. But it was just kind of weird, and I liked the comedy and then the seriousness and kind of all of it mixed together.
Oh, absolutely. And we didn't even touch the bar scene.
Oh my God, he's dancing.
Yes.
That reminds me of my husband. He can't dance either. But that's all. It gets weirder because we have a funeral for the doctor he did the autopsy on, whose name escapes me. Sorry.
Yeah, Dr. Hopkins.
And then he just opens up the casket. Now, first of all, those are locked, but whatever. And he's like sniffing them, and I'm like, what is happening? And he had smelled something, I guess, to figure out that it was poison.
Right.
Or some kind of reaction because he was trying to give himself a tracheotomy. Right. Now, I thought it was interesting that right away he's like, oh, he did it himself. Look at the blood splatter.
Right.
I probably not have figured that out. But then again, somebody who's not close, not seeing it. So you're not looking at it as, oh my God, why would Tom do this? That kind of thing. So then all of a sudden, a whole new mystery. Somebody is a murderer. Dun, dun.
Yeah.
Again, the sound. We're going to have to try to figure out how to download that sound and put it in now.
Yes. I got it. Yeah, I'll have to look for that sound clip.
Put that in, whether it's necessary or not, like the end of every episode now. But interesting, because now, are they going to tell the sheriff? Be like, okay, sheriff, now you can really be mad about something. Here's the situation.
Right. Well, you would think they've got to tell the sheriff. The sheriff should be the one solving the murder, not the doctor. This isn't Quincy.
So. But he's
you really got to be old to catch that reference.
I was going to say, we're going back. We're going back a ways. Or, Murder, She Wrote, the writer who's doing all the investigation. But hey, if you know what that is, bonus points for you.
Yes.
Go ahead, send something in. I got a boatload of stuff I will send you, and none of it is as old as those shows. So.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, we do have some feedback.
Yes. And I am so surprised we got feedback on this already. So awesome. We got something from our friend Jazz, who, if you haven't listened to, oh my gosh, which I don't even know. She sends us several.
Yes.
Track ones.
Yeah, she did Discovery and Winona.
You can hear her on our Captain's Chair podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, she did Lower Decks, I believe, too.
Yes.
Which that is hilarious. If you haven't watched it yet, I recommend that one. Yeah, and Winona, which I'm sure we're all chomping at the bit for that to come back. But
absolutely.
Again, hopefully that'll be soon. But anyway, let's jump into Jazz's review and information from Resident Alien, Episode 1, the pilot.
Hello, this is Jazz, who has a review on the new show Resident Alien. I noticed it actually has a good sense of humor, as displayed by their airplane-like trifold in the very beginning. It shows you how to say hi to the natives, to flick somebody off, and how to get lunch. It's probably going to be a very interesting yet odd show, so I could definitely relate to being the odd one out, and evidently he's not the only odd one in town, so he can actually blend in. I thought it was cool he went back and saved his coworker, and that allowed us to care more about his character, and think he has a more redeeming side besides just being an interesting looking alien. And the surprise here was that he wanted to blow up the Earth like Marvin the Martian. Perhaps his view of the Earth is obstructing his view of Mars, and so they wanted to blow it up. They didn't exactly say why, but they did notice the extinction event part that had been from his ship. Hopefully he will decide he likes at least a few of them and have some angst about not wanting to actually blow it up after all. Or maybe take his girlfriend in the future to his planet? You never know. So it sort of reminded me of Northern Exposure, the old TV series set in Alaska with aliens. So it's definitely different, and I'm sure it'll be even more interesting as the episodes progress, and you never know what plot thoughts and everything else that they're going to come up with. So it should be interesting. I know that Alan Tudyk, I guess you pronounce his last name, he is an excellent voice actor and has many years of it, and has even done the voice actor for the Joker. It used to be Mark Hamill who played Luke Skywalker until he retired. So he has many skills, and his face is just interesting to watch because of all the various contortions he puts in it. So I look forward to the next episode. Once again, this is Jazz. Thanks.
So, yeah, we, of course, are loving Alan Tudyk. And I forgot to mention the way he keeps doing his face.
Right.
Like, he has to keep it very, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like static.
Right.
Like he doesn't.
Yeah, he has to keep it really deadpan.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't think of the word. So, yeah, it's really interesting how he does everything. I really do wonder how they're going to explain away all the craziness in this town.
Right.
But in case you didn't know, Jazz, Alan was also in Star Wars.
Yes.
Because he plays or does the voice for K2SO, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. And, of course, Firefly.
Yes.
You know, she's washed. He's been in so many different things. And, yes he's done a ton of voice acting. And I don't think I realized he did the Joker because Mark Hamill always says that to me. But anyway, sorry, bring it back. Totally love everything about what you said.
Yes.
Because pretty much like what we were saying, how he's so odd. Is there a redeeming something
right.
going to happen?
Can he be redeemed? Yes.
Does he think the world can be redeemed? I mean, there's so many ways to go with it. It really does make me wonder.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I do want to thank you. She did also put that she was hoping we were feeling well. So thank you for the well wishes.
Right.
And of course, the pod dog is always going to be there posing. So you'll see the pod dog on our Instagram.
Yes. Now, I also got a little hint that she also does a podcast, but I haven't been able to locate it. So she might have to let us know about her podcast.
Oh, my goodness. We all have podcasts. I swear during COVID anyway, everybody ended up with a podcast.
Yep.
But everybody who has one, we're all doing so many different things. Yeah, like come and talk to us and we'll talk to you. I love it.
Absolutely.
So if you want to send us any feedback on the show or our podcast, let us know. You can find us at www.fangirlzone.com. It's easiest to go to our contacts page and you can see our email and our various ways to get a hold of us. Twitter, because Steve was live tweeting. I believe I ended up missing it because I was cooking or something. I don't know what I was doing. I may have fallen asleep. It's like...
You're still recovering, so...
It's been crazy here. It's been amazing, though. So make sure you contact us one way or another. Even if you're like, man, I'm not sure how I'm feeling. I think that's good to know because everybody needs to know, is this going to get better? Is it going to be too jumbled? So all of us together are what makes the network know. So if you do like it, though, make sure you tweet along because all the networks are looking at social media now.
Yep.
And even if you're not seeing it on ratings, because so many things are starting to change because people are watching it on the apps, on demand. There's another way that I have, on the computers, because that doesn't count. My gosh, brain fart. But there's so many different ways, and that's why they are now starting to take social media things into consideration. So make sure you hashtag Resident Alien when you're tweeting along, because that's a big deal. And while you're at it, if you're sending us any information or you're just thinking about maybe doing it, you can rate and review us on iTunes and every other platform you find us on, because good ratings and reviews help other fans of the show find us. And we'd really, really appreciate it, of course. Tell your friends about the show, about our show, about tweeting along, anything you want. But make sure, if you really like it, you let us know how you feel. And we have a ton of other podcasts. And like we said, if you are liking how this is kind of weird and wonky, I would definitely recommend Happy to you.
Yes.
And you can, if you're not even sure and you want to listen to our podcast first, you can listen how kerfuffled we were.
Yes.
So then maybe you're like, okay, wait, I gotta check this out.
Yeah.
It's weird. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. So for this episode, the pilot of Resident Alien on Sci-Fi Talk, I am Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. I'll say one thing about whiskey. It's allowing me to make smart, rational decisions.
Said no person ever. And until next time.